Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. As usual, your boy Tello bringing it out, cranking these out on the daily. I know we're a little bit late, but don't worry, we're coming out with it. I'm sure you'll see it in the morning, alright? Maybe you'll be having some eggs, some potatoes, some bacon, a little ketchup, who knows, a little breakfast action, or maybe you like to fast. Maybe you're more of a lunch person. Maybe a little tuna fish sandwich. Maybe while you're working. Maybe on the trucking job, parked on the corner, getting a little sloppy. Settle down. Not that kind of video, and not not promoted for YouTube. That's in Minecraft, of course. YouTube, don't ban me, please. All right, we need you right now. Crank open the fresh Poland Spring from the Retribution Wells, of course. Sips up. That is some beautiful water, indeed. I can taste the microplastics. However, maybe we'll get sponsored by Liquid Death. Who the fuck knows anymore? All right, listen, Liquid Death, holler at your boy. You have a skull in the can already. You see the exorcisms coming out. Holler at your boy. Besides that, today's video, we're going to be going over some gear stuff. We're also going to be talking about a little bit more about professions and things I hope they do. And look at the beard. It's a little wet right now. Things I hope they do within the next phase. Maybe some quality of life updates, some cool ideas in general. But I want to talk about it a bit. And we'll go from there. But first, let's go into the main subject of the video. And before I even touch it yet, before I go into the main point, I got you guys over here at the Nomer portals. DMing your boy while going into Nomer. Hey Tello, I caught you. I got you. I saw you through the ornate lens. I saw you. I just want to give you a shout out. I love the videos. And I see you guys hitting me up. Much love, amigos. I respect it. But if you ever do that again, you're on high alert. While the boys locked in into the Nomer, we're fully locked in, brother. But I appreciate you guys always coming to the videos. Leave your comments below. If that was you guys out there who were DMing me, I know who you are. If you're watching the videos, you truly watch it, you leave a DM in the below. No, not a DM, a comment. Don't DM me. In game, you can DM me. That's fine. But settle down. I'll kiss you. However, 60 upgrades. If you're not using 60 upgrades, if you haven't used it in Classic ever, or if you haven't used it in SOD in general, a phenomenal website that you can be, managing your gear and what sets you want to put together, whether it's a healing set, a tanking set, or a damaging set, depending on your class and spec. It's a phenomenal website. Not sponsored, by the way, but how you doing, 60 upgrades? But besides that, let's go into the main point of the video. All right, so let's go into the characters. So I have 4 different builds here that I'm going to go over that I think you guys can maybe get a gist of. These are not this is not really a talent point video. You could go into talents. I could go a little bit into it, but I will show you more about the gear that you should get and why you should get that gear. But I want to go off with showing you my gear first, what we have going on for the current moment. So, I think we went a little bit over this, but as of tonight, I actually got the hazard leg plates, which was really cool. More of my style for this current phase, and since I like to even do PvP, is go towards the hazard leg plates. But I think overall, if you check a lot of the Paladin leaderboards, a lot of Paladins right now are using the hazard and insulated leg pieces, whether leather or plate. Either one of them are topping the board. So this is nothing wrong with going with the leg plates if you want to go for the 3-piece set. The shin kicker boots also, if you just want to go for the 2-piece insulated set, is really good. But this is my set. This is my gear. This is what I'm rocking for my current set. I like it. It does really good damage. I always usually, if I'm not trying to top the leaderboards, I'm damn well trying to push for them. But really good stuff. Tonight we didn't have, it's actually funny, we didn't even have a Feral Druid, but we cleared in 40 minutes flat tonight. I was using some Shadow Oils that I bought from the auction house, which are, by the way, 7 fucking gold! Have you lost your mind? I'll help you find it. You better lower the prices, brother. Lower the prices. If you have a Shadow Oil, send it to your boy. Appreciate it. Much love. I'll send you some Dino Nuggies with some ketchup. However, 7 gold is fucking atrocious. 750. Tell me how much the prices of Shadow Oil on your server in the comments below. Fucking nuts. However, you could buy fucking Dragon Breath Chili more cheaper than that. But yes, using the Shadow Oil, we're going with, I didn't even use the Arcane Elixirs. Maybe I should have for more spell power. I think it's like 14 more spell power for like 30 minutes. But overall, I went with the Agility Pot and the Ogre Strength Pot. And yeah, 40-minute run with this gear. Pretty optimal gear overall. I think it's pretty straightforward. I really like the Blood Wrench Coke. The drape, the blood, the cloak. Yes, drape, obviously fucking Tello. But 1%, you know, for the crit, another 1% from, you know, the helmet. Just really juicy stuff. And then obviously improves chance to hit from the leg plates. Once we get the 3-piece, the chance to hit, just having the chance to hit to always hit nonstop, it's really juicy. But overall, this is just a really beautiful set right now. I love these shoulders, by the way. These shoulders are pretty sick. The 22 AP, I got this last week during a Nomer. Pretty good stuff. The trinket, not bad, but I do recommend not popping it. I think somebody in my comments below did say not using it. If you have it off cooldown, you can consider it, but that shit turned me into a chicken for like 5 seconds. I was losing DPS for 5 seconds. I was having a panic attack. Like if a Wendy's didn't have, you know, spicy nuggets, I was having a panic attack. However, overall, great stuff. This is like the set. Like, if you want to get damn near close to Papatello, you want to be a total Giga Chad, swinging your big, gigantic, you-know-what, across the room, and this bottle was open for a minute, that water was spraying, but this is the gear to get, all right? That's what I'm basically saying. This is some pretty solid gear. As far as into other gear, the full BIS setup, like, fully BIS, what to go for if you're trying to be the most craziest parse monkey on the leaderboard. Like, full BIS, insulated chest guard, insulated leg guards, dark vision girdle, gloves of holy might. If you get the gloves of holy might, just DM them to me. You know, send it via mail. Actually, don't. I understand. You don't need to. But as far as the gloves of holy might, sell those bitches. Make yourself some money, guys. Come on, let's be realistic here. To be honest, you could just stay with the Grubbus gauntlets. They are truly best in slot. They are phenomenal. Or the machinist gloves, if you want to be a PvE nerd and like just fully lock it in. If you have the void touch leather and you're still running void touch leather, it's okay. Definitely pretty solid still, but I do think in a couple minutes we're about to talk about professions after I go over all the 60 upgrade stuff, because there's some stuff I want to talk about, especially this item in particular that I want to talk about. So we'll open this up in another tab right here, because I want to actually talk about stuff like these epics and stuff like this, right? So this is fully BIS. You could actually take the Iron Spine out. I do apologize, and you can have Hypercharge Devastation and Hypercharge Devastation, which is this item right here. Fully BIS ring. There's no question about it, just for the stats alone. But that would be your optimal setup. You could change the Avoid Pearl if you really want to and go for the Chicken or the Dragon Whelp. I think the Chicken is really nice too, because it fights you for like 1 minute, so just a little extra bump in DPS. I see a lot of Paladins on the leaderboards having that as well. But this is overall it. This is perfect. Don't mind the 5 melee damage. I know it says that, but I think 60 upgrades doesn't have Dismantle for some reason. I looked for it. I couldn't find it. But overall, yeah, use Dismantle in PvE. If you want to go +5 weapon damage, we'll talk about that in a sec for another type of, you know, build. For tanking. Now, for tanking, this is realistically what you would want to do for tanking. You could get the double trinket if you're able to, you know, snag that into your guild and get double trinket, especially if you're tanking, depending on what you're doing. But you have to remember something. In Nomer, the first 4 bosses, you don't need to run, you know, sword and board. You can technically still use the Crowd Pummeler or something that's really fast in general with Seal of Martyrdom, benefiting off of Art of War and Exorcism with Chief of Light, right, for the spell power, and just keep, you know, blasting enemies via having more damage and agility and strength on your gear set rather than having to stress using a sword or board the whole time. So you could just straight up use Crowd Pummeler and use the on-use effects from your helmet, the on-use effects from Crowd Pummeler, which we obviously know already just increases your, you know, speed overall. And if you really want to get juicy with it, if you have the power assisted lifting belt, which is obviously up here, let me move it a little bit right here. If you have the power assisted lifting belt up here, if you have the engineer belt, you can get the use of this effect as well. And, you know, you could just be going fucking nuts. You can actually be going nuts. Plus, it has a chance to get more critical strike +1 on percentage base and improve chance to hit with spells with another percentage base. You would go nuts if you really want to fucking do that. But obviously, for the most optimal build, you want to go towards the last 2 bosses with the needle and the shield, because it's just on better survivability, and plus you're still doing really good fucking damage, especially if you top off Dismantle on the needler and then put like thorns or whatever on the shield or whatever you're going to be using for that. But overall, really good stuff. This is the most best way, I think, in my opinion, the better gear to run with your tank. You can say, maybe I don't like the shoulder plates, maybe I want to go with the Trog Slayer pauldrons. That's fine. At the end of the day, when you're tanking, as long as you're doing a lot of fucking damage while tanking, especially Holy Threat right now for Paladins is completely busted. This is fine. This is a fine set to run. You could get the Silk Cloak if you don't want the Blood Wrench one, if you're doing like more of a holy power thing. If you're doing like shocking it and gives you more spell power damage, just like, you know, magic to spell damage, whatever. But overall, this is fine. You could go with the Justice Badge if you really want. Nah, not needed. It's good, but this is fine. Like this is fine. Trust me. You could be tanking like this and going hard. Even if you wanted to use the Void, the Avenger Pearl, and take this out and go for the AP Pearl, like that's fine. But this is the optimal build. I think it's pretty, you know, straightforward. You can go whatever talents you want. Like talents, like we've already been over talents many times. We can always go over talents, always, depending on what, you know, tanking thing you want to do. And by the way, on a side note, I think somebody did comment in a video that they want me to go over like a holy, just straight like healing paladin video. I'm gonna have to talk with one of my friends about that so I can get a little bit more knowledge about healing, because I never really truly did a lot of healing. I've done it a little bit, but it wasn't always my, you know, forte. You know, to be honest with you, but I have a good friend in my guild who's really fucking knowledgeable about it. I'll get some good notes from him. Much credit to that, my boy. He's my boy Nerve in the guild. That's actually my boy KP's cousin, and he did phenomenal fucking healer, really good paladin healer who knows his shit and knows his add-ons, knows how to play the game. So I'll get some info from that for you know, a holy video if I do it. However, that's basically it for tanking. We're gonna go over PvP now, PvP stuff. So for PvP, I think, in my opinion, having plate gear in this current meta where it is very, you know, burst damage based is really good. Now, you could say, oh, I'll just go with the insulated piece and just say, fuck it. I'm just going to try to be a bursty ass damage dealer myself and just rock the 2-piece insulated with the shin kicker boots. But I think overall the hazard plate is amazing. Having the hazard 3-piece set is really solid, and rocking the power assisted lifting belt if you have that. If not, if you don't have like either of the, you know, in my opinion, the lifting belt, the girdle, or the gold wrap, nothing wrong with going with the belt of the berserker, or nothing going wrong with having either the board champions belt or the high landers plate girdle from AB, which is extremely, you know, we talked about in my last video with AB rep. It's extremely easy to do, so nothing wrong with that. Obviously, this is like fully BIS stuff, and this is like really good stuff to be having. But overall, this is what I would recommend. I also think, as far as the weapon, +5 weapon damage on the big 2-hand, and going with the Bloodlight Avenger Edge, I think it's the better sword to rock. It's because, you know, we went over this many times, and you've probably seen some videos from a lot of other paladins. I think I also, what's his name? I watched him earlier, Savix. He even had a Ret video out. Really good fucking guide, by the way. If you haven't watched his video, go check him out. He's the man. Savix is, you know, the OG. But he even talks about like having, you know, increased damage to holy spells and effects up to 24. That's really fucking good. That is really good, especially if you're benefiting off of, you know, doing exorcism spamming and, you know, Art of War, stuff like that with the Sheaf of Light. You could go with the Thermoplug. If you need another option, Bone Biter is viable. Mograin's Might, I think, is actually really fucking good and really easy to get from SM Cathedral. This shit drops all the fucking time. But besides that, obviously, you're not going to have the Pendulum of Doom. You're going to sell that bitch for 3,000 gold, so fuck that shit. And everything else is kind of like whatever. We're using Seal of Command when it comes to PvP. I think Seal of Command is the way to go for PvP. You could go into the Reckoning build if you're fighting a lot more, you know, melee-based fights. I know that's a, you know, very popular PvP-based build. But you can even do Deep Shocking. You know, if you want to go Shocking, you can definitely do that as well. But I personally like Deep Ret. I love having Repentance. I love having, you know, Hodge. I like having the ability to shut down a healer in the background or make them waste a trinket or whatever, and having the ability to Hodge another person, and just having, you know, movement and parrying abilities where I can like slow people down. And especially if you want to run the build where, you know, you can even rock Avenger Shield on this build if you really want to. That's completely up to you. But when it comes to PvP, Avenger Shield is really good, and now it benefits off of your AP as well, your attack power. So you could be, you know, using Avenger Shield in, like, you know, let's say STV event, for example, or AB, whatever you're doing, and just, you know, slow down 3 people. Now you have your Hodge. Now you have your Repentance. You have 3 ways of making fucking the battlefield nullified because of the amount of, not only sustain of you as a character, but the amount of movement and parrying things that you are slowing down on the field. You are wasting people's time, and that is a good thing, is to waste people's abilities, to get them, to capture them when they least expect it, and then start laying down the justice on them with the light. And that's what we love to do. But that's about it for the builds. I can share my these builds if you guys want. I'll put all these builds in the comments below, and you can fuck around with 60 upgrades even for your own characters and do a lot of cool stuff. So it's pretty cool. Overall, let's go into the discussion about professions, what I really want to talk to you about. And on a side note, hold on, lock it in, I just want to say much love, amigos. I hope everybody's doing good. This is a lot of information to take at one hand, so you know what, get a little sip of water again, a little sippage. Whatever you're sipping, whether it's beer, whiskey, a little water, have yourself a little snack. I know you're watching a televideo. I know it's a lot of news to take in, but let's just remember at the end of the day, you're sexy, I'm sexy, I love you. Let's go on a date. Settle down. However, as far as professions go, why is this dude naked? I'll never fucking know. Oh my gosh, bro. If I scream one more time, they might call the ops on me. They're prying us. I said prying. I'm about to say trying. Tello, if you don't stop fucking stuttering. However, they're trying to set me up. It's a conspiracy. Void touch leather gloves. Now, when I originally was going into the phase 1, I was doing void stuff, and I was like, I'm going into leatherworking. I'll do engineering, but I always knew from error, like I liked blacksmithing and mining, because they just work so good together. Or if you blacksmithing, engineering, and then you have an alt that's a miner, and you're just basically getting the materials funneling to your main, so you can benefit off of engineering, blacksmithing, and mining. However, I didn't like the fact that I thought they were going to upgrade these gloves for phase 2 viability. Now, they're good gloves. Some classes still use them. I think my boy is a druid. My boy Brian, he uses these gloves for like, just the on-use effects and the equip. But there are better options out there, obviously, right? But I thought it would be cool if they were going to take like this Void Lord stuff, like the lore with the Void Shard stuff, and where you upgrade the gear and it changes into phase 2 properties. However, you would have to get it through Nomergon. You know what I mean? You would have to do stuff through Nomergon or do another quest line to alter the Void power, where it's like an overburdens of corruption, and now they get brand new stats, but make it like a tough quest line. I understand they're making these tough quest lines all around. It's, for some people they like it, for some it's annoying, but I think it would be pretty cool if that's what they were going to do. They didn't do that. So they didn't do that, and then I was like, fuck, I don't want these fucking gloves. For me as a paladin, I'm like, they're whatever, they're kind of trash now. I gotta re-roll the fucking blacksmithing. And I was like, all right. So then I was a blacksmith originally, then I went to leatherworking, then I re-rolled and had to do blacksmithing all over again. That shit was annoying. And to comment on that real quick before we continue with the other ideas, I really think that I enjoy professions. Professions are dope. And I always think they've always been a part of Classic Era and, vanilla, right? And it's always been a thing to, like, level your professions to 300 in the end game, right? But I think it doesn't make any sense that you get rid of a profession and you completely forget it. That looked sus right there, the way I was doing that. I was basically stroking it. And now I look like a midget. Settle down. You guys are getting a little too horny out here. YouTube, friendly. We're being friendly, family friendly in Minecraft. YouTube. However, but yes, I think honestly, it doesn't make sense that you learn a profession, you max it out, and then you have to unlearn it to relearn another profession. But then if you ever wanted to relearn that other profession, you can't, because you only have 2 professions. So it's like, I kind of wish a quality of life update, what I think would be pretty cool, let me know your comments below, is if they basically said, okay, you can lose a profession, but you would never unlearn it truly. You know what I mean? So whenever you want to relearn that profession again, you already did the whole grind for it. You put in the man hours for it. And yes, if you want to learn a new profession, you have to start at 0, but you would have to work your way up to 225, right? In the current phase, or 300 later on. But if you want to go back to blacksmith, since you already did 300, we would give you like a remembrance or something, or like maybe you chrono boon your profession, where like I remember that I did it for blacksmithing up to 225. I just want to go to leatherworking, and then I level that up to 225. I want to go back to blacksmithing. Now I don't need to redo it back from 0, because the cost in this market right now is atrocious. It is crazy. Like, dude, I'm paying money for any type of things that are high-end consumables, blacksmithing pieces, whatever it is for epic gear crafting. It's a steep market right now. We're living in the dark times in the economy. So come on, Blizz, let's think about it a little bit. If you like that idea, let me know in the comments below what you think about that. Now, as far as their plans in the future to make sure that this gear is carried through the phases, because we obviously love the word item utilization, and you know, having good utilization of items that you can bring from the past into the current you know, phase is really cool. Like, I love that aspect about WoW. That's why, you know, Classic Era is so good with that. But I really feel like I don't want to have to totally forget, like, for example, this helmet, right? This helmet that we got. Well, let's go to the editor guy. If you don't get on top of it and go to the full scan, I'll shoot him. I'll shoot him in Minecraft, and I'll do it again. I said what I said. So, thank you. Somebody thank the editor guy in the comments below. Thank him. Get to the helmet. Where's the editor guy? I'm getting pissed off right now. Anywho, yeah, the helmet. So, what I was trying to say. I really think it would be cool, like in Phase 3, depending on where this helmet goes, because I like the helmet. I think it's pretty fucking cool, you know? It gives me some cool vibes. I like it, but will we have a thing where we will be able to enhance this helmet? Being able to always have this helmet on, you know, on deck, whatever, you know, whatever usage we can do to re-roll the properties of it, whatever type of lore you're trying to reintroduce to the game or add in, you know, I'm just saying, I'm thinking of ideas if you pick up what I'm putting down here. And that's all I'm getting at, because I really like the fact that we're getting these helmets and we're busting our ass getting all the materials for them, and then at the end of the phase, there's like, okay, there's something better, and now you just don't ever use it again. I think the on-use effects of this helmet are really cool, so it's like, I think a lot of good epic items right now that a lot of us are going for all our classes are really cool. It would be a cool way for them in Phase 3 or Phase 4, whatever they're doing, to make all these other epic items in the game hold viability and remain strength and give them some love. So it's like, oh, I'm going to go back to Void Touch Leather Gloves in Phase 1, in Phase 4. I'm going to go back to Tempered Helmet in Phase 2, in Phase 3 or Phase 4. You know what I mean? Just giving more options, more flexibility, and I think it's a cool way to grow the MMO, no matter what. But that's basically my 10 cents. I don't want to make the video any longer than it is. Let's get to the full cam. Much love, amigos. I appreciate you guys coming to the videos as always, and I thank you for all the love and support and the sweet comments. You guys are very adorable indeed. And even the haters, even you guys out there, I'll give you some ice cream sometime for sure. However, I appreciate it as always, amigos. We'll be cranking out these videos on the daily. We don't stop coming out of ideas. We just always keep going. Maybe in the next video, you know what? Maybe I'll do a little PvP action. Little PvP, maybe we'll go in there. You see Papotello go in there and lay the light of God on these mofos. But that's about it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you later. Much love. Don't kiss me in the comments, by the way. You guys are acting too bricked up. Peace. If you wanna dance,